What if I told you that every single wealthy person you admire, every person who owns their home outright, travels without checking their bank account, and sleeps without financial anxiety, got there not by doing something extraordinary, but by doing 10 things most people find too boring to bother with? No viral hustle, no lucky investment, no secret formula sold in a $2,000 course. Just 10 habits, repeated quietly, over time. Stay until habit number 4, because that one alone could put an extra $43,000 back in your pocket without earning a single extra dollar. Here's the uncomfortable truth about money that nobody posts about on social media. The people winning financially are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They do not have a secret advantage you were never given. They simply decided, at some point, to stop waiting for the big moment and start showing up for the small ones, every single day. These are the 10 habits that do it. Let's go through every single one. Habit number 1, and this one is not glamorous at all. In fact, it might be the least exciting thing I say in this entire video. Track every dollar. Not to punish yourself, not to make yourself feel guilty about that takeout order last Tuesday, but because you absolutely cannot manage what you refuse to measure. Here's what happens when most young professionals actually sit down and track their spending for the first time. They find between $200 and $400 every single month going somewhere they did not consciously choose to send it. That's not a small number. $300 a month is $3,600 a year. It's a holiday. It's 3 months of index fund contributions. It's the beginning of an emergency fund. Tracking is free. The savings it reveals are very real. Start this week. Use a notebook, a spreadsheet, an app. It doesn't matter. Just start seeing where your money actually goes. Habit number 2. This one works precisely because it requires 0 willpower once you set it up. Automate your savings. There are 2 types of people when it comes to saving money. The first type says, I will save whatever is left at the end of the month. The second type moves money into savings the moment the paycheck arrives, before rent, before groceries, before anything. Guess which jar is fuller after 5 years? $200 a month, automated from the age of 25, invested at a modest 6% annual return, becomes over $100,000 by the time you are 45. Not because you were disciplined every single month, because you were smart once, the day you set up the automation, and the system did the rest. Willpower runs out. Systems do not. Habit number 3 is the mindset shift that makes habits 1 and 2 actually stick for life. Pay yourself first. This is not just a savings technique, it's an identity statement. When you pay yourself first, before your landlord, before your utility company, before your favorite restaurant, you are telling yourself something powerful. You are saying, my future matters more than my present comfort. Most people pay everyone else first and hope something is left for themselves. Wealthy people pay themselves first and live on what remains. It doesn't matter if you start with 5% of your income. What matters is the sequence. You first, everyone else second. Always. Habit number 4, and I promised you this one was worth $43,000. Let me show you exactly why. The average person today pays for 12 subscriptions every month. They actively use 3. That gap between what you're paying for and what you're actually using is costing you, on average, $150 every single month. $180 a year, disappearing silently, without a single conscious decision. But here's where it gets serious. That $150 a month invested instead of wasted at 8% annual return over 20 years becomes $43,000. $43,000 from apps you forgot you signed up for. Do this audit every 3 months. Cancel ruthlessly. Reinvest the difference. This is the easiest money you will ever find. Habit number 5 makes most people deeply uncomfortable, and that discomfort is costing them a fortune. Negotiate everything. Your internet bill, your phone plan, your insurance premium, your gym membership, your starting salary, your next raise. Every single one of these is negotiable. Most people assume they are not. That assumption is expensive. Research consistently shows that professionals who negotiate their starting salary earn on average $1 million more over the course of their career than those who accept the first offer. One conversation, $1 million. The worst they can say is no, and no costs you nothing. But yes, yes changes everything. Habit number 6 is the silent wealth killer that nobody warns you about when you land your first big raise. Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise. Suddenly, the apartment feels too small. The car feels outdated. The restaurants you used to love no longer feel special enough. This is lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason people earning $100,000 a year feel just as broke as they did earning $40,000. Every time your income increases, resist the urge to upgrade your life immediately. Let the raise hit your savings first. Live like you're still earning what you were earning before. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth is built. Protect that gap like your financial life depends on it, because it does. Habit number 7. One finance book every 3 months. Not a course, not a $997 masterclass, not a guru's email list. A book. $15. 4 per year. The return on financial knowledge is unlimited. One idea from one book can redirect your entire financial trajectory. The right book at the right time has made more millionaires than any single investment ever has. 4 books a year, over 10 years, that's 40 books. 40 concentrated doses of financial wisdom from people who spent decades learning what you can absorb in a weekend. That's an unfair advantage, and it costs less than a monthly streaming subscription. Habit number 8. One new marketable skill every single year. Not a hobby, not something you enjoy doing on weekends, a skill the market actively pays for. One new skill can add $5,000 to $20,000 to your annual income. Over a decade of consistent skill building, you haven't just earned more, you've built an entirely different and far more valuable version of yourself. Skills compound just like money does. Start building yours now. Habit number 9, and this is where everything you've saved, protected, and earned actually starts working for you while you sleep. Consistent index fund investing. No stock picking, no trying to time the market, no following tips from strangers online, just putting money every single month into a broad market index fund and leaving it alone. $300 a month, 20 years, over $250,000. The market did the heavy lifting. You just stayed consistent. Boring wins. Every time. And habit number 10, and this is the one that makes all 9 habits before it actually sustainable. Build a 6-month emergency fund. 6 months of living expenses, sitting in a separate account, untouched, not invested, not exciting, just there. This is not just a financial safety net, it's a decision-making superpower. When you have 6 months of expenses saved, you never have to make a desperate financial decision again. You can leave the job that's going nowhere. You can negotiate without fear. You can wait for the right opportunity instead of grabbing the first one. Financial freedom doesn't begin when you become wealthy. It begins the day you stop making decisions out of desperation. 10 habits, 0 glamour, unlimited potential. Track every dollar, automate your savings, pay yourself first, audit your subscriptions, negotiate everything. Resist lifestyle inflation, read 1 finance book a quarter, learn 1 new skill every year, invest consistently, and build the safety net that makes all of it sustainable. None of this is complicated. None of this requires a 6-figure income or a finance degree or a lucky break. It requires a decision, made today, repeated tomorrow, and the day after that.
The people quietly building wealth right now are not doing anything you can't do. They just started, and they kept going. See you in the next one.